the right level? Okay. Countdown.
1, 2, 3, go! Yeah!
Is it broken? It's broken. Okay, throw it in the trash.
What?
Throw it in the trash right here.
Fire!
3,
2, 1.
All right, bring it up to me.
Yeah!
Give me your project.
The biggest difference between high school, summer school and middle school summer school is high school summer school is often about getting credits or making up credits that you've missed in the past, where in middle school our focus is really on helping students with literacy and helping them with math. So it's to give them that extra time and that enrichment to help them grow and help them accelerate their progress in both of those areas. For middle school, summer school, this is the site, and actually it serves some very specific groups of students. It serves students from here at George McGovern, and it also serves students from Whittier Middle School. And the students that come from both of those schools are ELL students, and then the third school, which is actually located right here at George McGovern, is the Middle School Immersion Center. So all the students that are being served here are students who are also learning English and learning the language because they're newer to our country. It's free. We go to all the students who would fit in the category of being our ELL students or our immersion students. We let them know the dates that it's going to be, and then all they have to do is sign up so that we can logistically prepare for it, and otherwise it's free. We provide transportation, so there are bus stops just like the regular year. We also provide a breakfast for them, and we also provide a lunch for them before they leave. There's one session, and the session really goes from it's basically approximately a week after school gets out, and we'll go through the end of June. The day looks like a typical school day, except the emphasis really is reading, writing, and math, and it's really a shortened school day. So they'll come, they'll have breakfast, they'll go to classes. There's usually about 3 rotations during the day. It kind of depends what area and what group you're with. One is really an emphasis on reading itself. One is an emphasis on writing, and then one is typically an emphasis on math. It's a little different in our immersion center. They also have some science going on with it too. One of the things we want students to do is we want them to enjoy being at school, and we also just realize that getting that brain going and moving is so important to our students. So typically we try to have some time during the day where the students go out and they do something physical. It might be just taking a soccer ball out and playing a game of soccer, playing some other sort of game, and it gets them moving for the summer, it gets them physically active. It's also a really good relationship building piece where teachers get to play with the students get to play with the teachers, and we know all the research shows that the most important thing to learning is really the relationship between the student and the teacher. So we don't want to be a place where we're just kind of pounding information into kids, but we want them excited about being here and wanting to be here and feeling like they belong and they're cared for, because we realize that those are going to lead to increased learning.
All right, Jackson.
The ultimate goal is for every student there's a natural amount of regression that happens in the summer. One of the things we want to do is we want to limit that regression for these students. We also want to maybe even push these students a little farther along because, as you know, many of these students are learning the language. They're all very bright. Some of them, and when you think of the language area, they're far superior than, say, myself, because they speak 4 languages, 5 languages, something like that. But they do have to pick up the English piece so that they can do the literacy piece in English. And then math, obviously calculation is calculation, but what we want to do is prevent them from regressing and having that moving back period. There's some research out there that would show and say that really when students get to school in the United States, they do very well. There's progress while they're in the classroom, while they're in our schools. But what happens, and it happens more so for students who don't have opportunities, maybe they're poverty families, so their families are working hard all day and aren't able to take them to the opportunities or buy them opportunities like camps and things like that. And so where they lose ground is that summertime. So your poverty student might not get the opportunities that another family does and a student has, where we don't think of it as educational, but they're thinking, they're engaged, they're involved. And so really that's where your poverty students fall behind, is they're not getting those opportunities in the summer that other students are getting. And all students regress to a certain level, but other students, especially if they have the resources and the opportunities, their minds are being engaged and being challenged, and so they're progressing a little more every summer compared to students who might not have those same opportunities.